I'm sure you heard this phrase, be a man. If you're a man, I'm sure you're familiar with it. If you're a woman, you probably have used it before or you would have heard somebody use it before. What does it mean to be a man? And when people say be a man, what do they mean? Okay? So if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching. Hi, hope it is here. Welcome to the channel. So let's dive right into the topic. Today I have somebody very interesting, a fine boy, a very handsome young man that draws attention. Okay. So Samuel, good to have you again today.
Yeah, good to have you too, Peter. Of
So we're going to be doing this together. Have you heard the word or the phrase be a man?
course.
What does that mean to you?
When I hear be a man, what comes to my mind is don't be emotional, don't be sentimental, don't talk too much,
Mm,
have shoulder a lot of responsibility,
mhm,
and a lot more. A lot of things comes with be a man. But most of the time when it is being used, the term is being used, is especially the emotional a mental part of a man. That's when it's being used. When you are going through a lot
mhm.
as a man, or you are shouldering a lot of responsibilities, or you lost someone, or a couple
Yeah.
of things. Then when you lost someone, or you are going through some issues,
Mm.
and you can't just deal with it yourself, and you begin to pour your emotions out. Then someone comes and taps you at your back or your
I said
shoulder
be a
to be a
man.
man. You are a man.
You talked about when you lost someone.
Yeah.
I remember when I lost my mother, right? And I was talking to my auntie. I was telling her over the phone what happened. Like I was giving her a breakdown of what went on, and then my voice started shaking. And then she told me over the phone, "What do you think you want to do? What are you doing? Don't even try it. Don't tell me you want to cry. Don't even try it. Don't you know who you are?" Over the phone. And guess what? When I finally when I finally traveled and then I saw this, my auntie, immediately she saw me, she broke down and started crying. This is the same person who told me not to cry. And now she's crying. I lost my mother and my auntie is crying right in front of me. But guess what? I'm supposed to keep it
You're
together,
supposed to be a man.
be a man and not. Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair on men that you ask men to keep everything together? Do you think it's fair?
No, it's not fair. I mean, from inception, in fact, from creation to what's how we are being created. I mean, God has enabled each and every one of us to show our emotions, either as a male or a female.
Mm,
But the society has had its way to change it
mm,
to such a way that it's only it's only women that can be emotional.
mhm,
Men cannot cry.
mm.
So, which I think is not fair enough because this has probably brought a lot of problems to some homes.
Yeah.
In fact, to some people, to some men generally. I think few years ago I did a painting concerning this, concerning how men are maltreated, but not physically, but mentally. I did a painting concerning it. I just remember that I did a painting concerning it. I would love to show it to
Yes,
you
yes, yes, yes.
once we are done.
Yeah.
I titled that stuff. It was a Yoruba term. It was called Igbekun.
Mm-hmm.
Igbekun actually just means being inside, like being in a darkness, somewhere where there's no light, somewhere you cannot breathe. It
Mm.
just puts you there. So I was trying to say that that's the position where the society has placed men in this darkness, in this place where we feel lonely at the top.
Okay, really, I agree. Like it's lonely at the top for men.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that men should be so vulnerable that they become weak because there's a thin line,
Yes, there's a
right?
thing. Yeah.
As a man, because of the responsibility that you're supposed to shoulder, right? Because of how God has structured a man as the leader, as the protector, as the provider, there's a level of strength and courage and bravery that a man is expected to have,
Yes.
right? And that is why it feels like when you're told to be a man, it feels like society looks up to you for strength, right? Say, for example, you're married, for example, right? And then a situation occurs in your home. Your wife is crying and you're crying too.
Who is going
Do
to?
you understand that part? So, in that situation, it's expected that as your wife is crying, you're
You,
supposed to keep it
yeah,
together
you be the
and
shoulder.
be the shoulder and
What?
be the strong one,
Yeah,
to keep or to help your wife get through it.
yeah,
That's why I said it's a thing like, I mean, it's okay to express yourself as a man. You have emotions too. But also, how do we draw the line between being expressive, being a little bit vulnerable, and being weak as a man? Because I think that that's where it comes from.
yes.
Nobody wants a weak man.
Nobody wants
I
to
mean,
be.
as a child, think about it. How do you feel like something happened in your house and your father is crying? How do you draw the line?
Of course, um, most of the time when men react, emotionally, women see them as being weak. In fact, other men would even see you as a man
Mm-hmm.
of being weak. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why would you cry? Or why would you shed tears? Why would you? And what do you expect? This is what your wife should be doing
Men
now.
don't cry.
Men don't cry. You don't
Mm.
do. But I mean, I think it's high time we spoke out and establish how we feel to people, even to especially to our partners,
Mm.
because no, your partners will probably have seen you, like you said, as that warrior, as that brave man, as that person that you have to always stand firm
Mm.
in everything you do. But I think we need to also establish the fact that we are also human, and whatever you feel, we feel.
Mm.
If you pinch me, the same pain you feel,
Mm-hmm.
I feel. The
Mm.
same way you respond to that stimulus, I respond to it. Just that the
Yeah,
way I'm able to manage my pain
it's
is
different
just different from the way you're able to manage your pain.
because you're built
We
stronger
are
as a
built
man.
strong as a man. Doesn't mean we don't feel that pain at all.
So that means that men are supposed to have an outlet, right?
Yes.
Like, because the truth is, if you keep all those things in you, you will implode or maybe explode, essentially, depending on which one happens. That's the reason why the mental health issues around men is on the increase. Do you get, like, we need to have a conversation around how men handle being men. You know, you talked about being open to your spouse.
Mm.
Sometimes there's a lot your spouse can take. Not every woman has the capacity. Actually, most women lack the capacity to manage or handle a vulnerable man.
Yeah.
There are women who you are open to, and then it becomes overwhelming to them. Like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Like, they tell you, I have a problem when they say, talk to me, share with me, be open. And then when you're now open, they are confused.
They're confused. Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So I feel like men should have outlets. Maybe men within themselves, the
Yeah.
circle, you have another man you can talk to. You can express yourself. You can be free with.
WhatsApp group.
The problem is
You be the admin.
when I think that the problem is when men gather, they talk about women and money. Nobody wants to say because nobody wants to appear weak.
Nobody wants to appear weak. Exactly. Nobody wants to talk about these parts
Mhm.
because, like you said, once you talk about these parts, other guys can start seeing you as
Yeah, like this person
because
should.
they've also grown with that mentality too, and they've not really seen a reason why they should really speak out, because a lot of men are dying
Yes.
within
Oh,
because
yes.
they can't just speak out
Statistics actually show that there are more mental health issues among men. There are more depressed men than women
than women. Yes.
because men are not allowed to speak up. Even society does not expect men to speak out because you might appear weak. And because of that, even men themselves have decided, let me keep it to
Let me see.
myself,
Yes. I
keep it
better
all
appear
together.
weak
Be a man.
and be a man. So I'd rather say don't kill yourself and say you want to be a man and you die. Talk, express yourself. If you think you need to say something and someone would hear you out and help you through whatever you're going through, then you should talk. You can't just
But what's the way forward though? Now that we know, at least from observation, that except maybe recently, many women are now beginning to realize that men are humans too,
Yeah.
right? Men have emotions too. And then they are beginning to build capacity to be able to handle vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
partners, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's helping. But essentially, what's the way forward? How do men express themselves? Like seeing that we live in a society where women will see you as weak if you express yourself. I mean, a woman will tell you, "Why are you talking like a woman? You're talking too
Yes, that's
much.
the word. You're talking too
You're
much.
talking too much.
We
Why are you
shouldn't
talking
talk too
like a
much. Why are
woman?"
you talking like a woman? Like women are meant to talk too much.
So there's so much expectation. That's a topic for another day. I don't think that's a compliment. When you say, "Oh, you're talking too much like a woman," that means you're not talking too much is a bad thing.
Yes.
Is it good that it is a woman who does the bad thing?
Okay.
But
That's
that's
not.
by the way. How do you think that men should? How do you think we can deal with this pressure of being a man and still maintain our sanity? Because we have more widows than widowers. Men are going faster.
Yes, man. Yeah.
They can't tell anybody anything. You know, you can see your father sit down
And
and with his hand on his cheek and he's sleeping. You think he's actually sleeping, but he's dealing with a lot of things he can't tell anyone because he doesn't want to appear weak. How do you think you can handle that, especially as young people who are growing to be the next parents, who are going to mold the next generation? How do we handle it so that we will not build a weak generation, but also maintain a very sane society?
man, that's a very vital question,
Mm,
and it takes the grace of God, especially in this part of this country, or
mm,
even generally
mhm.
in this in this world where men are seen as be a man thing. This the term
Yeah.
is there. So I feel we should start. It's individually. We should start from our nuclear, from our homes, from our
Mm,
friends, from our
mm.
offices. I think from there we can now push it to the outer world. When five guys or people that you feel like they will not say anything, they begin to talk, they begin to express themselves.
Mm.
It passes messages to other guys that feel like, man, I've been in this for a long time.
Yes.
I need
Yes.
to talk.
Yes.
A good example is for a woman who has been raped. Most of the time, they feel embarrassed to say
Yeah.
it. They
Yeah.
can't talk about
Because
it,
of
like because of
stigma.
the stigma and everything.
Yes.
You don't have the guts to say that this person did it until maybe three or four other ladies come out and start
So
expressing
you
themselves
have
and saying.
strength
So you
to.
have the strength to actually say, "Oh, I have gone through this phase before. I have been
Mm,
raped before, or this
mm.
particular person you guys are talking about has also done this to me before."
Talking about rape, even. Do you know that boys get raped
Of course,
and we
boys
don't
get
hear about it?
no boys get raped. Very, very.
And like we don't hear
We
about.
don't.
How dare you say a woman raped you? We have a society that is really unfair to men. But that again is a topic for another day.
Yeah,
Today we're talking about the term be a man.
be a man.
We're going to address the situation where the society has really been unfair to men as well.
Yes.
The society is rigged. I know women are unsafe, in our society because of rape, because of harassment and all of that. But men go through things that nobody is talking about.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about being a man now, because you have to, like you said, it has to begin from the home.
Yes.
Please let your boys talk. Have you had a situation where something happens to the male child and they say, "Don't you know you are a boy?"
Mm-hmm.
That's where it starts
That's where
from.
it starts from. That's where they've made that young, they put that mentality in him that he
Mm.
should not say anything, he should express
Yes.
himself. If someone should do something or
You
something,
should be able to take
he
the
should be able to
pain.
take the pain, he should be able to, in fact, for instance, if they beat you in school and they beat a guy and a girl, they feel like the guy should not cry.
Yes.
Oh, the
Oh, yes,
thing,
now.
you're a man
Yes,
now. And
yes,
you,
yes.
as a man, because we have been shaping that way, we feel like, we need to, even if
Uh
the
huh.
pain is there, we need to hold,
Man up.
we need to man up, we
Man
need
up.
to, see, they pay me now, they pay you like, but, let me hold it. I don't want to appear weak, I don't want to show that, I don't want other people to make jest of me.
Yes.
So let me
Of
just,
course, they will laugh at you. They will laugh at you like, see this boy, they beat her, they cry.
they cry.
They cry like woman.
But I mean, I think it's, like I said, we need to express ourselves more. There's nothing wrong. Personally, for me, I'm very expressive.
Mm.
I like to express myself just the way. I express myself on my canvases. That's the way I
Mm,
express myself too. I mean, we could even as men we could express, as I said, canvases, we could express ourselves through, artistically, even through things we can do,
yeah, but
through
men do.
poems,
Men
through
do.
songs.
People just don't know. Men actually do. But again, because it's artistic, you just enjoy the art and then not remembering or losing sight of the content. I mean, the lead vocalist in this music group, I can't remember their name now. The guy committed suicide. But if you hear their songs leading up to when he died, you would hear the pain that he was trying to communicate through the music.
Wow.
Yeah, but he probably couldn't tell anybody anything. And so here's the message in this conversation. Really, I know that as a man, you don't want to appear weak, and I know that it wouldn't make sense to appear weak, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we need to find a balance, find a tribe, a healthy tribe of community where you can express yourself. Do you understand? So for young people, for young men, it is not every time you gather that you talk about women and money. Sometimes talk about your mental health. Talk about what you're going through. And also, men need to build the capacity to contain other people's issues.
Yeah.
Stop the stigma. Stop
Yes. Yeah.
mocking
Don't
men
mock him.
who
Yeah.
are speaking out. Because if you don't feel safe around your fellow men, it's not
Yes.
a
There's not.
woman
It's
you
not a
go and
woman.
talk to.
Yes. No.
You know,
You have to. Yeah.
we need to understand that we are losing viable men. Men are losing their minds. Men are going through a lot, but they can't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Christian, maybe your pastor. I hope that they would understand. So, or whoever you are, the point is, know that men have emotions too. And if you have emotion, you will feel
You
pain.
feel pain.
If you
Yeah.
have emotions, you will feel what every other person that has emotion would feel. It's okay to express yourself. It's okay to cry if you have to. Don't cry in public. I mean,
No. No. Don't do
no,
that.
no, no, don't cry in public. Because when I lost my father, I didn't. I couldn't because of that mindset, and I saw the reason why I could not. I mean, think about it. If I
Yeah.
break down and I start crying, like what will happen to my mother and every
And
other
the other
person around?
person.
But after the whole thing, I went into the room and had a timeout to pour out my heart and express myself. Crying is therapeutic. Don't
Yes.
let anybody deceive you that, oh, because you're a man, you can't cry. Yes, don't do it in public. Don't embarrass all of us. But find a way to express yourself. If you're dealing with something, talk to someone. Talk to someone. Get a therapist. Express yourself. Being it's not a title. There's no award.
There's no. Yeah. There's no award
You will
for
just kill
being a man.
yourself
Being a
and
man doesn't
die
come
for
with any
nothing.
award. It's just you
Yes,
just keep
you just kill yourself
wailing
and die
yourself
for
in. Yeah.
nothing. There is a privilege and authority that's attached to being a man. There's a privilege and authority. We're going to talk about that in another day. The point in this video, men, please express yourself when you have to. Embrace a little bit of vulnerability. Do it with wisdom to avoid see
Mm-hmm.
finish. Because if at the end of the day you appear weak, what's the point?
Yeah. What's the point?
A man should not appear weak. That's the truth. But a man should not keep everything inside that he's dying slowly. Find a tribe, find a safe space, find a safe community where you can express yourself, where you can pour your heart. Build a community of like minds. Okay? If you're such a person, you can leave a comment. We have a community. Be part of our community where we can talk about any and everything. What do you think about the idea of being a man? As a man, do you think it's okay for a man to express himself? As a woman, do you think it makes a man weak if he becomes expressive? Let's know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Please like this video and share. If you are yet to subscribe, kindly subscribe to the video. Thank you very much, Samuel.
Yeah. Thank you very
Coming.
much.
We'll do this again
Yeah.
soon. All right. Thank you for watching. My name is O Peters. He's Samuel, and this is Mind Shift. We see you on the next one.